I'm so happy about that. I would have I would have blamed myself for that. Seriously. So once
No
again, you are
worries.
welcome to this program. Thank you very much for the honor to have you here. And
It is my pleasure to have you.
I know that even though many people are not here now, people usually watch after the show. So there is nothing to be perturbed about. We know that this will get to as many people as possible, and many people will be strengthened by it. Even recently, I
Thank
just
you.
received a call from someone who was trying to connect to this platform, but I know that all of them will get a good understanding of why you move and how you move and the courage that you use to move from red to green. Because your story is such a wonderful story. And first, I will even want us to understand where you are coming from, your background.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, good afternoon or good morning or good evening, depending on the time location or the timing you will be listening to this program. As you all know, my name is Ijabla Pius. I am born and brought up in Adamawa State, Yola precisely, northeastern Nigeria. I'm a Marigibai tribe, which is from northern part of Adamawa, Madagascar local government. I am from Gulak. That is it. And I undertook my education, primary education from Yola, all through to my university in Yola, where I studied Bachelor of
Wow.
Technology in Pure and Applied Physics at Modibo Adama University of Technology Yola, now known as Modibo Adama University. It was formerly known as Federal University of Technology Yola. Then from there, I went for my National Youth Service. I served at Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Efrum, Delta State, Warri. And then I went for my master's at the University of Glasgow, where I earned a scholarship of African Excellence Fee Waiver. I was among the 8 African awardees. Then from there, I'm now doing my PhD here at the University of Edinburgh and National Physical Laboratory, United Kingdom. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for letting us meet you in this way.
Thank you, sir.
And you are talking, that means you are a Nigerian, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a
Because
co-Nigerian. I'm a
because
pan-Nigerian, pan-Africanist, you
I
understand?
have to
Yeah.
because I have to drive that home because many people will think maybe you are from abroad and things are rosy, you know.
Oh,
So
no. I
that
came from a humble background.
humble background.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about the background?
Oh, yes.
Because
My
many people
background is,
find courage.
yeah, my background, because my father, my late father, my father was a teacher. Um, my father was among the, well, I say before he became a teacher, he was among the staff of the federal government that was retrenched. Was it 1995? Yeah, 1995. So he was working with NTA, which is National Television Authority. Yes, my father studied English, and then he was retrenched because at that time, I think he was a director also when he was retrenched, because that was when I was born, and I have a nickname called Director. Yeah, because that was the time I was born. So he was retrenched, and 1995 or so he go back to teaching, where he was the state government. And being an English teacher, my mother was just a farmer, a peasant farmer. So from there, we are, I think in my family, we are about 15 of us or so in the family. We
Yeah.
are many because,
Wow.
yes, I'm,
Interesting.
I'm the 10th born of my father. Yeah, I'm the 10th born of my father.
Wow.
At that, my father being an English teacher, he wanted us to go to school. My mother did not go to school. She only stopped at secondary school. Yeah. So the only thing that she always tell me is that, do you want to study? I say yes. So she supported me, and when people are going to during the August holiday, the long August holidays that we know are enjoying themselves, I personally spend the whole of 1 month in the farm, because that's where I know my school fees is going to come from. So I farm,
Wow.
because after everything the farm produce, when we want to eat, my mother will sell it to pay my school fees. So that's how it is. And are you looking at it? As I said, we are many. So we are many. After I finished my secondary school, I didn't get a university admission. American University of Nigeria, Yola. If you know American University of Nigeria, Yola, I was a janitor there, which means I was cleaning hostel. I was a cleaner. You understand?
Wow.
I went there to clean, and from there I was able to gather some money, and hopefully, I can't forget, because I searched for admission. I didn't get admission. That's the truth. I didn't get admission. Friends and families try all their best. You know, someone like me, I don't know whether there are other Christians or non-Christian, but I'm always proud to be a Christian. That's the truth. I'm a proud Christian because I know my life is all about, it has been God's. Yeah. My pastor then, the state overseer, when he came, you understand, he asked people, because I just finished my secondary school, who will be a volunteer worker. From there, I said, okay, I want to be a volunteer worker. We're about some sizable number of us. So after that, I can't forget, during the program, my phone was stolen. I can't forget my Lumia 700. Every time I remember the story, my phone was stolen. But during that program, at the end of the program, the servant of God called us, Pastor Ari Hassan. He was the then state overseer of my church. Because I'm a member of Deeper Life Bible Christian Ministry. And he called, he said, okay, you want to pray for us? Then he called, is it Proverbs 25 or so? I can't remember the passage, but I can remember the passage, what he says. He that watered will be watered also. And I say, amen. So when he was praying, he said, okay, among you here, people looking for admission. Don't forget, admission period has passed. That's the truth. Admission period has passed into the university. So he said, people are looking for admission. You will get admission. The Lord tell me I'm going to get admission. I still remember, Abigail, Peter, Josiah, and Daniela, 4 of us were the ones looking for admission. And we say, amen, amen. And the truth is that the 3 of us, Josiah, and Abigail, Peter, now she's Mrs. She's Mrs. Abigail Peter now. All of us got the admission into the university after that prayer, because my one was that God made it. God brought somebody. To cut the long story short, God brought somebody that how God made it. I got the admission into the university and then from there I went and give God the glory. I testify, and that's how the journey began.
So your journey started on a slide of miracles, right?
Yes, my journey started on the slide of miracle. It has also been miracle. Having my degree was a miracle. Having also my funding, okay, the same man. You see, that's why I say, sorry, I'm a Christian. I always say that because my life has been governed by God, and I believe He's always working miracles. You understand? So that same man, I was serving because I was serving. I told you, I said earlier, I serve at the Delta State, where I serve at Federal University of Petroleum Resources. So in Deeper Life, where they would call the Corpus Fellowship. You understand? So I was the general coordinator of the Corpus Fellowship of Delta State at that time. I was staying, my phone was stolen. I can't forget, my phone and my laptop was stolen. I just decided to get a new phone. So I was in my room. I just received a call. I don't know who was the one calling me. I just picked a call because I did my welcome back. And I received a call. I said, hello. I just remember I just called the voice. I just picked. Oh, how are you, my son? I said, I'm fine. I just remember, this is Pastor Ari Hassan. He said, okay, my son. I said, yes. He said, the Lord tell me that you should not even look for work in Nigeria. I was there. I was savvy. He said, the Lord tell me you should not look for work for Nigeria. Because by the grace of God, I had first class. And I started to God be the glory. So he said that the Lord said that you should apply for scholarship. I want to get scholarship. I said, so I don't know what it's all about. Even though I want to go abroad, you understand, because I started looking for scholarship, but I don't know how God is going to do it. But he said the Lord says so. So that's why I picked up the challenge. You understand? And I have a friend. It's always good to make connections. It's always good to make connections. So my phone was stolen. My laptop was stolen. I just got a new phone. I don't have a phone. So I have a friend, which is my pastor's son. Yeah, he was my pastor's son, the associate coordinator. Because my associate coordinator was my professor, was my even supervisor, Professor Udo Emmanuel. His son is Udo Gift Ogaba, because all of us we are together here in the UK. So I called him while serving. I said, oh, I want to go for masters, and I'm looking for scholarship. I want to go for masters first. I want to go for master. He said, what course do you want to study? And the reason why I even studied physics before, because I want to be a nuclear and environmental physicist. So I said, I want to be a nuclear physicist. And the university that I think they have that I only know was Imperial College and was it Cambridge? Yeah, Cambridge, nuclear physics or so. So he said that, he said that there is University of Glasgow. I said University of Glasgow. I said I don't know the University of Glasgow. So he told me and he asked me to apply. He was one that guided me through because I don't know anything. That's the truth. I don't know anything. He guided me through on how to get my transcripts, how to get transcript number one. So the transcript, I used the opportunity while I was serving the university to apply for transcript. I have my friend while in the university, Titus. But yeah, we schooled together. He was there then. He was the one that helped me do the application. I sent him money, and the transcript was sent to me, and that's how I applied. The God of Miracle, we do the admission that used to take 3 weeks. My own within 1 week. I think I had about 3 different admissions. One in University of Loughborough, two University of Loughborough, and one in University of Glasgow. So I decided to pick because that's my own University of Glasgow, nuclear and environmental physics. So I just pick it up. I don't have the funding. I just remember while filling, would you have funding? I say other funding, other source of funding. That was what I applied. The same young man, Gift Ogaba Udo, says that to me, there's a scholarship the University of Glasgow offer African students. I say, what? I don't know. So he helped me because I was not having I wasn't having a laptop at that time. I can't forget that fateful Sunday morning. He taught me about email etiquette. Email etiquette. Because I tell you that I don't know everything. I have people around me. He was one that taught me about email etiquette, and him also I can't because his life also he was taught by somebody called Daniel Dio. You understand? Somebody taught him, so he also taught me about email etiquette. So I said, okay, I don't have laptop, and how we're going to do this issue to apply this? He said, okay, can I tell him my story? Because that's to write about the statement of purpose. So he's going to write it for me. You understand? So I narrated my story, how everything, understand, and he helped me. And the word target for 500 words. 500 words. And he used his laptop, everything. He dedicated the time and sent the application on my behalf because I gave him my email login details. He used it and sent it for me. And COVID came. I think COVID came. I was supposed to have acceptance letter, I understand, awarding letter. I had received a rejection letter. Then I can't forget, I even called the pastor. Oh, pastor, I just got to greet you. How are you? The same pastor, Pastor Arias, I said, my son, the Lord told me that you're going to have a scholarship. I was having rejection letter. That's the truth. I was having rejection letter. I say, amen. A month after the prayer that he told me that with my rejection letter, I received an email. Oh, you are considered. Sorry for that. Okay, you're among the people that were selected for you. And that is how the journey of me coming to the United Kingdom to study nuclear and environmental physics at the University of Glasgow. I received rejection first. I was rejected, but the rejection was turned to acceptance. A letter of awardment, and I give God the glory. I got the scholarship, and I finished master's in nuclear and environmental physics. Thank you.
That's a wonderful testimony. You said something that is one of the heart of this particular event, is that you started to receive rejection letters.
Yes.
There are people that have reached out to me also who are going through the same thing. They have received rejection letters. Some they have received too. But there was a time that somebody reached out to me and said, sir, you need to pray for us. We are giving up. And I was like, if you are giving up over one rejection letter and somebody is able to get over 30, that must be some secret somewhere. So what helped you to, when you were receiving the rejection letter, first, how did you feel when you were receiving them?
Oh, yes. The truth is that it wasn't easy. After I finished my master's, even before my master's, 300 level, 2015, I started applying. That's when I even started trying to go to abroad to study. Understand? I applied for PhD precisely Imperial College, 2015. Wow. I just applied because I had that confidence I'm going to graduate with first class. Because I still remember when I was given the admission, the man that gave me the admission, he asked me, before you study physics, because physics is a difficult course, why can't I go for engineering? I said, no, I want to study physics. Then he asked me, are you going to graduate with at least 2-1? Promise me. Then I told him that I'm going to graduate with first class. That's the promise I gave him. I said, I'm going to graduate with first class. So looking at that, and God helped me with that. I want to graduate first class, was 300 level, because by 300 level, I was still a first class student. So 2 more years, I said, okay, I have that confidence by the grace of God, I'm going to graduate first class. So that's when I started looking for this admission. I applied for PhD straight because I heard that if you have first class, you can get PhD straight. You understand? So I
outside
sent
the
later.
country, right?
Yes.
Outside the
Yes.
country, right? Okay.
Yes, outside the country. So if you have first class, you're going to get PhD. So I started with PhD straight, not even masters. So Imperial College was my first application. Imperial College never replied me. That's the truth. They never give me a rejection letter or acceptance letter. Send emails to different professors. Uncountable. I can't count the number of professors I send emails. But one thing I get to understand is that I was sending wrong emails. I don't know how to send emails. That's when you need to learn about email etiquettes.
Now you hit something there that I think a lot of people will be interested in.
Yes.
Is that regarding sending of emails? Can you just talk more deeply about that?
Okay, like in emails, emails, every email should have a subject.
Okay.
Every email, no matter how it is, you must make sure that your email have a subject, and your subject should not be in uppercase or your capital letter, because when you write anything in capital letter, is offensive, is abusive, you abuse. You understand?
Wow.
You understand? It's an offensive. So in email etiquette, you don't write in capital letters. Don't let the body not be in a capital letter. Let not the heading be in capital letter. You understand? And it must have a conclusion. You understand? It must have a heading. It shouldn't be in capital letter. You understand? Normal sentences, everything, like when you start, when you start a sentence, subject, verb agreement, you understand? And that we do have, you must be able to, okay, your starting will have to start with a capital letter. So definitely, but you shouldn't write everything with uppercase. So when you come, there must have to be salutation. So in the salutation, it's always good to know the cadre of the person you're sending the email to. If you're more especially take up academics, is the person a professor? Is he a doctor? You understand? So you need to know. You shouldn't address a professor as a doctor. You should address a doctor as a professor. So you have to make your research, because there are these people, most people abroad, everybody, all of them, their CVs up online. To the university, you will see them. You understand? So try and address them the way it is. So all those were the wrong mistake I was doing. You understand? I can't forget that some of the emails I write with capital letters. Everything capital letter, because I was just trying to make it, it's too shouty. You understand? So when you write that, your email will be bounced back. You understand? The professors have a lot of emails to look at it. And you see, you have to introduce yourself in your email. There must be introduction. 2 or 3 sentences have to introduce yourself. You understand? And it is like now the best way, I think, when I remember, the best way, there are 2 ways to write these emails. But the best way, when you're applying for funding, you will see there's a subject of that research. So it's always good to use the subject, the title of the research, as the subject of your email. Okay. That title of that research that is advertised is always good to use as the title of the email, of the subject of the email. You understand? Because that will get the attention of the potential supervisor. You understand? And at that, because this I learned, that's the truth. I was saying how I was rejected, but when I go to look at it, and when you are sending, you make sure you attach your CV in the email. Let that be attached, because in your email you look at it, your CV should be there. You have to have a sentence that will capture your attached emails. In the attached email, there's an attached document, your CV, your transcript, your results. You understand? Everything official document that is needed, you understand, should be seen by that person. So these are the things. These are the
now
basic
you mentioned
etiquette.
Sorry to cut you. You mentioned the area of attaching CVs.
Yeah.
And I know there are different CVs, right?
Yes.
So which CV in particular are you referring to?
As a like me, I'm not even experienced more, because I'm an early person. You understand? In the CV, in Nigeria, let me just use the word Nigeria. In Nigeria, we write our state of origin, we write our date of birth, our sex, which is our gender. We use the word gender, marital status, these are not necessary things to be on the CV. A CV shouldn't have such kind of things. A CV should have your name, you have your address. You can have an address, and the address should contain your email, your phone number, and it will be good. If you have like social media handle like LinkedIn, you understand? If your Facebook is not Facebook that carries things that are not educational, you shouldn't put it there. Or your Twitter, you shouldn't put it there. But LinkedIn is professional. You understand? You can put your LinkedIn address, your LinkedIn. Then there are different ways of writing CV. That's the truth. But there must have to be a summary where you summarize yourself. You talk about yourself. Okay, like me. Okay, I'm somebody like I just talk about myself. I'm a researcher in nuclear environmental physics by profession. I'm interested in radioactive carbon and laser spectrometry. That's my area of interest, and policy making. These are things. And when I'm looking for employers that can be able to help me grow, these are just the simple things. You introduce yourself there. So in terms of the like education, some bring education. So there are no perfect and there is no wrong CV. You understand? Some bring education and some bring work experience. So anyone you bring, it doesn't matter. You understand? But every section should have a title in your CV. Every section should have a title, and anything, most especially in your work experience, anything that you think you have done is always good to include it. It's always good to include it. Yeah. Most of the times, we don't even submit a CV. We only submit a resume. What's the difference between a CV and a resume? A CV must have to have, at least at the end, no matter what, it must contain the details of your referee.
Okay.
Your resume you shouldn't contain, you can just say the reference on request, you can provide it. You understand? So these are sometimes you see sometimes you see in another advert, you are expected to submit a CV or you submit a resume. If it is a CV, you make sure that you provide the details of your referees. If they say resume, you can see then you can see the referee on request can be provided at the end. So at that, you see, you can put it. It's always good to arrange in chronological order, either descending or ascending. There's no problem. It's always good to arrange everything. Let things be organized in chronological order. So these are things that will help you stand out. You look at it, and then as I say, if you have done volunteer work, you write okay. And if you have published, there are sections. If you have published work, if you have a published work, there's a section for published papers. And if it is you have award, they are subject for awards and grants. Understand? So these are just my own little experience of writing CV. Understand? As I said, they are not perfect or bad CV, but the basic thing is that those details, as I said, marital status, state of origin, nationality, understand, gender, shouldn't be included in your CV. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if you are just joining us, my name is Jacob Alabi. This is J. Alabi Show, and my guest is here, Mr. Pius. And so far, he has helped us to understand email etiquette, telling us that the reason why many people have rejection letters are not really because of any other option, but because of wrong email etiquette. And he has explained about the use of uppercase, capitalizing everything in your subject box as a very wrong etiquette, and you should not address a doctor as a professor or in any other case, vice versa. So you should introduce yourself when you are writing emails to professors to seek for funding. Use the title of your research as the subject of the email, and make sure that you attach a well-written academic CV. So now, I believe that is a recap of what we have talked about so far. And I would love to ask you, sir, because when anybody hears 30 rejections, over 30 actually, there is this tendency in Africa to think the devil, there is this tendency towards the devil. Like, you think, was it the devil that stopped you from doing that? From what you have said now, looking back, you are able to say that most of the rejections, they came because you did not know what you know right now about all this, some of these, the reason why you were rejected. So are you saying that knowledge is very paramount in securing scholarships abroad?
Oh yes, as I said, I'm a Christian. You don't dispute the power of God. You understand? As I told you earlier, you understand. My master's scholarship, I received rejection, and after power prayers, by the grace of God, things changes. But we grow every day. We grow, we learn, and we learn from our mistakes. And the devil play its part, and we are ignorant also play its part in securing such kind of funding. So, as you said, knowledge is power. That's good. My people, the Bible says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. It is a known fact. So, looking at it, I can't dispute the fact of the spiritual aspects. You understand? But when it comes to aspect of preparation, and I would just say, it's not good to give up, because for me, I always have this quote, is that I rather die trying than to quit. I rather die trying than to quit. Because anytime you do something, you understand, and you fail, you go back and look what you have done. You try to do another thing, but don't do it the same way, because when you repeat the same way, as Albert Einstein will say, it's insanity. Doing the same thing, you understand, severally, it's insanity. Understand? You try and change, find another method. Understand? As I said, I have people that always, anytime I will call their names, you understand, that help me through. And on this PhD journey, the first rejection was during my masters. I was interviewed. I can't forget. I was called for. I applied quite right. I did, and I was even called for interview, because I remember give Ogama Udo helped me. You understand? And he still was able to help me through. And I had the first interview, and the first interview is that I failed. I failed my first interview, even though I applied. I was called for that. I did things right, and I failed. I was not given, and the feedback was I was not able to demonstrate practical experience. I was not able to express practical experience. I did not give up, okay? Don't forget, I told you I've applied for PhD 2015 when I was in 300 level. I did receive that later. I received that rejection, I think, last year. Yeah, last year, that's when I received the rejection. Look at it, 2015, till now, till last year, 2022. After I got my own present funding, that's when I received a letter that they rejected me. So after 2020, was it 2021 rejection? I was never invited for an interview again. I was never invited for an interview. In all my applications, over these 30 rejections, I'm telling you, I was only invited for 2 interviews. The first rejection and the one that I'm enjoying. What happened? I have a friend, I call it a friend and a brother, Ijabla Joseph Kwajigu. He's also doing his PhD at the University of Glasgow. I don't know. Decided speaking, I don't know if it was even my brother. Understand? Because his mother were related. He just saw me on Facebook and just started me to help him as he's going to come over here, and I helped him. Look at it. I helped him to come over to this place, and he was the one that helped me to. Sincerely speaking, he was the one that helped me in my last interview.
Wow.
He was the one that helped me in my last interview, and he also helped me. He was somebody that I would say that helped me in proofreading, and also drilling me, preparing me for interviews. Because any application I apply, he's always interested. After he have arrived, he's doing his PhD in applied mathematics and liquid crystal. He will come. Okay, what application have you made? I said, I have not made application. He will say, no, you have to make this application. I said that, oh, you see, that's the truth. You'll be discouraged. You'll be discouraged. I said, there's no problem. I decided, okay, now I want to even go and look for a job. Even though deep down within me, I wanted to go for a PhD. And him, I can't forget, him, Ijabla Joseph Kwajigu, and my mother, they always believe that I can do it. My mother said, have you applied for another thing? I said, no, go and apply. So he was the one that introduced to me, if I'm not mistaken, findphd.com. So in findphd.com, I told you I've applied several, and they never reply my email.
Right?
They never reply my application. Findphd.com, yeah, findphd.com. Okay. That's where you can get funding for PhD, both in US, UK, Australia, Sweden, Canada. You can get PhD there. You understand? France, everywhere. Findphd.com. You just choose your location in that site. You can choose your location or where you want to go, and also job site. There's job site also. Job site also offer PhD fundings. Understand? So these are the two places to get PhD. And also on LinkedIn, LinkedIn you can get PhD funding on LinkedIn. So as I was saying, my story of my rejection, I've applied severally. Even when I finished my master's, my supervisor, my wonderful supervisor, my master supervisor, okay, there's a funding. Oh, the funding is only for the locals, which is the UK nationals. That's why I was not able to get the funding to continue with my own research that I did. And some other funding that I applied was because of restriction, national restriction, because my course is sensitive, understand? So some of these are the things that comprise it. Some of them were because I'm not a national, so you understand, I won't be giving that. And some no feedback. That's the truth. Some no feedback. But the second to the last one that I got, I said, I told you everything is a miracle. And I want to also advise people, maybe Christians, it's not everything you say out. It's always good to be prayerful. And if you are going to share some things, you make sure that you share with people that you pray along with, that pray along with you. You share, that's the truth. You have to share with things that people pray along with you. People see me like this. Oh, I'm a very social media person. Oh, yes. But I don't share things anyhow. Yes. It's always good it's always good to keep some things to yourself. And if it warrants you sharing, you make sure the person you are sharing this information is going to help you either spiritually or is going to help you intellectually to see how you scale through. Yes, I know what I'm saying. And that's several rejection. I received an email, I think, from my head of state, head of department, University of Glasgow, Professor David. Oh, there is a funding at the University of Surrey. Oh, and I just applied. I have applied this one, and the truth that I applied, I make more out. There's one I can't forget. I applied that one. I've applied, and the University of Sussex, at the University of Sussex. There's no way you would tell me that I will not get this scholarship. I was so overconfident in myself. I was so overconfident. The truth. We are learning from experience. You understand? I was really overconfident in myself. But I make a lot of mouths. Yeah. Sometimes I say, things that you keep yourself. You understand? If you want to say something to somebody, you make sure that person is either spiritually sound to help you or intellectually sound that's going to guide you. You understand? So, but that's this time because I know I just received no. But the University of Surrey, you understand, Professor. Oh, I love the man, Professor Patrick. I always call his name because he's part of my success story also. Because I never know him. It was through my application that I met him. Ijabla, this time around. Before he even said sorry to me, the Holy Spirit asked me, that's why I say I'm a Christian. Say, go and meet my pastor. I have a pastor, regional overseer here. Say, you should go and pray for you. And when I met him, I said, Pastor, I want you to pray for me. I want something. Pastor Chima Dioka. I want you to meet. He's a doctor also, a PhD holder. I said, oh, no, I want to travel. When I come back the next Sunday, I'm going to pray with you. That's how the man procrastinated. Okay. And 2 weeks after he came back, because he travels, he's the regional overseer, he came back. I was okay. Oh, yes, Sunday said, want to pray for me. I want to pray for you. I said, I went to his office. I told him that the Holy Spirit asked me to come and meet you to pray for me because I applied this funding. But unfortunately, I just received the rejection just now. You did not pray. So what? See, the Holy Spirit says so, I'm going to pray for you. Now, as a believer, you should be able to know how to hear from God. You understand? Know the people you're going to meet. The Holy Spirit says so, I say yes. The Holy Spirit says so, okay, I'm going to pray for you. The man, Pastor Dr. Chima Dioka, prayed for me in his office. After I finish the prayer, I say amen, and he encouraged me. Understand? Don't be discouraged. My mother is also praying. I can't forget that she's also encouraged. I have a friend. I have let's say Timothy and Temitope. These are my prayer partners that we pray together almost every Monday. And I have a brother also that also pray for me, as I say, a friend, Egypt Joseph Kwajiga. These are people that are very important in my life that we pray along. But this time around, I never tell any of them apart from Egypt Joseph Kwajiga, because the Holy Spirit asked me not to say anything. Only just to keep on praying, you understand? He said we just keep on praying, but never to tell anybody after I've just the rejection letter. Then the wisdom came upon me. The Holy Spirit asked me to send my summarize. I should summarize my my MSc thesis to send to Professor Patrick. I sent to him to show him how interested I am in this research because I really want to be. I was really interested in this research. I sent to him, and Joseph Kwajugu, also in one of his work, because I don't have any published paper. So he asked me, okay, since you don't have any published paper, okay, can't you just be a part of, because he's a mathematician and they work as a theoretical physicist? Okay, I just partake in the publication so that to have at least a published paper. So in my application, I still remember I told the application is that I have a publication still yet to be published. As soon as it was published, understand, I send it to him. All these are things that I just start to sell myself. And the man reply me all the time, oh, don't forget, I told you that Sunday after I received a rejection, isn't it? Before the Sunday, these are the things that I did, the steps that I took. Even though the man said, oh, the funding that he has cannot be able to cover my tuition. So not that I did not meet the criteria, not that I'm not competent enough that he sees, no. But yeah, since I've made a British national, there's no problem, and because it is that. And I understand there are funding basically for only British nationals. And I said, okay, no problem. I said, if you have any funding, can you please recommend it for me? I'm really interested. And I even went ahead, because it's always good to make research. I went ahead. I said that I just want an admission. Just give me an admission. Because I was really interested. I said, I just need an admission. Just give me a PhD admission. I want to work under you. And I'll go and look for funding. And I try to look as a physicist, there is so-called the Belbonne funding. And I was confident. I said that if he can recommend me to go for that, I think I can be able, because every university in the UK, they sponsor in physics, any type of research in physics. If you have a PhD admission, and you are be recommended by the supervisor or the head of the school in the department, you will be given that funding. So I was saying that I need.
What's the name of the funding again?
Belbonne. She was the woman was a Nobel winner. The woman was a Nobel winner. So she had that. So I was so optimistic. I said, okay, can you just please give me? And I even asked, okay, can you even give me this admission, because now PTTF scholarship application has passed. I'm very confident if I apply, I'm going to get it. I'm just he asked me, okay, he said that I should go. There's third one. I told him that I'm not eligible for third one because I'm not an academic staff of Nigerian University. So I told him that, okay, I'm eligible for PTTF Commonwealth scholarship. On his recommendation, most Commonwealth and Belbonne scholarship, I can get it. The man said, okay, there's a policy in the UK, if you don't have funding, there's no way they will give you admission. I said, what? No admission? It's okay. That's how it is. Okay. But don't forget, my brother, never give up. He said you should keep on applying. So I just sent, this is the last email I sent to the man. The last email. I was coming, I said, okay. I said, thank you very much for the support and every other thing. And congratulations. I sent a congratulating message to him, to the person. Till date, I don't know who he awarded the PhD to. Say congratulations to the person that was awarded the scholarship. And hopefully, when there's opportunity for me, that you have another opportunity, you can inform me. So
you ended the conversation on a very friendly note, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And don't forget, after he rejected me, he sent me other applications. That's the truth. He sent me other links to France and other things, but I wasn't interested to go to France. That's the truth. I wasn't interested to go to France. He sent me to France, Australia. Is it Australia? I don't know how to permit him. Is it Austria or Australia? But you people should know. Understand, audience. I'm sorry for that. People from Australia or Austria should pardon me for that. And I think Canada. I think, yeah. So my that Sunday, after sending on that note, then I went. I told the pastor to pray for me. The Monday of that Sunday, that week, I just received an email from him. There's a funding on this, which I'm enjoying now by the grace of God. If I'm interested, which is on environmental radioactivity, which is where I'm really hammering, because I did a course on environmental radioactivity, and even the man requested a reference letter from one of my lecturers, because the man is Professor Professor Sanderson, David Sanderson, and he's a British man, Scottish man, and he's an authority in that aspect of environmental radioactivity. So it's always good to have good recommendations. So he wanted a recommendation from him, which I was not able to get from him. But the man, okay, just send me that. I said, oh, I'm interested in it. This is what I want to do. Then I didn't tell. I told you that I have people that I pray with. You understand? The Holy Spirit says, don't tell anybody. You understand? Only tell them, just keep praying with me. You understand? So I called Timothy and Timothy because these are my prayer partners, quite all right. We pray together with them and we should keep on praying. Say, pray for me. The Lord is going to do something. I believe the Lord is going to do something. The Lord is going to do something. And we are praying. I want to tell you, we are praying. We are praying. These three of us, we really pray with the whole of our heart. My mother on our side is praying. My brother Egyptian Joseph is praying. I was also praying. You see, he prayed on Sunday. On Monday, I got another opportunity. And I went there. Before I even applied, I said, as I replied, the professor, I was so happy. The man recommended him. It was his recommendation. God used him to recommend me. You understand? He was the one that sent a recommendation on my behalf. And my current supervisor emailed me. And I'm really interested because I told him I'm interested. Okay, that's it. I set up a meeting. Before I set up that meeting, I told you the only person that knows is my mother and my brother Egyptian Joseph. Why did I say I have to follow the leading of the Holy Spirit? I didn't tell anybody aside them. My mother was praying for me. I was praying for myself and my brother. And this my brother, every day, when I say every day, he is training me on how to answer interview questions. That's the truth. Because I told you I only had one interview. The remaining ones, no interview again. So this is the last interview that I had. So and he really, okay, this is how to talk, understand. He correct me grammatically, that's the truth. He correct me when I make a mistake grammatically. Say, don't say like this, you understand? Try to expand, say this, say that. You understand? And because I prepare a slide, that's the truth. I prepare a slide. He helped me also in preparing that slide. Sincerely speaking, I also appreciate him, Joseph Kwatuka. He helped me in preparing that slide and he trained me. Also, even the last what will I say? Statement of purpose, you understand? Yeah. Because he still corrected it. Because as you read, you write, you always see mistakes and stuff like that. You understand? He still corrected me. And I sent it and I was invited for the interview. Now the interview comes. I can't forget, because I was about to go to work, I was at least I'm working I'm having a manual work to just to sustain myself. That day I can't forget. I remember I wear, but not this white shirt. I remember I wear one white shirt, one of my maroon tie. You understand? It's only God knows. You understand? You see on the screen sometimes you just see us wear suits like this. You understand? Behind you don't want to see what is there. You get me right? Yeah. You understand? So I wear that. Oh my God! See, it's always good to prepare before time. Let's come in. It's not good to have. Let's come in. I forgot the timing. Thank God is that I come before time, but I even thought the timing they gave me, was it 9? Was it 9 a.m. or so? I don't know. It was 11. So I came around 9. Quite all right. And my Teams was not working. This young man, Egyptian Joseph, tried to give me his login details, tried to do that because I graduated from the University of Glasgow. So now it's time for me. So there's a window period that I will no longer use their services, understand, as a student. So the window period has now passed because it was the same link I used for the first interaction, okay, to meet them and so that they will come and see me. Oh my God, is that so? Oh, that's the Holy Spirit. What's all these things? So we did that. Unfortunately, unknowingly to me, it was not even time. It was not even the.
So you came before the time.
Yes, to make sure that my technicalities, everything is okay. So I sent an email to him. I'm very sorry, this or that. You understand? I was really, really intense. You understand? My brother I can't forget my brother was praying. My brother was also praying. Okay, we'll do that. Just send an email. It's always good to send an email. That's the truth. It's always good to notify your authorities. Whatever happened to you. I sent an email, but no, it was not time. So, but before time, I was able to sort things out. And with his help, his phone was not even working. He refused to allow me to use it on my system because I logged into the system because I already have my system. I use everything in Glasgow University. So they have to shut down my system. So I have to delete everything. So I just have to just create a free account. So that's how, and again, I check my email. Oh no, it was not even time. So that's when I began to relax. I didn't sleep very well. I can't forget that. I did not sleep very well. But that was making me to be relaxed. But still, because that drilling was so much. I came for the interview. The interview was that I'm going to present. I never had that interview. The truth, I never had such kind of interview in my life. My first interview was just about 20 minutes or so where I did interview. They asked me questions and that stuff. And I want to also ask, you should always, it's good to have your good LinkedIn address, because I remember my first interview, the interviewers went and checked me on LinkedIn. They checked me on LinkedIn before they even interview me. They understand? So, and the truth is that whatever I said on my LinkedIn, it was what was written in my CV. So they asked me based on that. Oh, and I saw notification. I don't even know that I saw the man's name. Understand? Say what? Understand? So it happens that way. So they will check you on LinkedIn, and they will check your social media, other social media, Facebook, Instagram, and others. They will check on you. They will have to check on you. That's the truth. So you make sure that you have all your social media life, your online life should be clean. And I had that interview for over 1 hour. Over 1 hour. I had an interview over 1 hour. After presenting, they asked me questions upon questions on my own research. And the truth is that the questions that we prepare with my brother, they were not even asked. They were only asking technical questions. What I mean is technical questions. I can't even recall them. I can't even recall the questions. That's the truth. Because I never expected that. But one of the questions that they were asked was this. Don't be afraid. Let me just say before I forget this one. Don't be afraid to say you don't know. Because if I can remember, if I'm not mistaken precisely, I was asked about 20 questions in an interview. If I'm not mistaken. And wow. I failed three questions out of that 20. I know that, when you did wrong, you did wrong. Understand? So as one of the things I was asked, in my area of research, I will always say this. They asked me, how is radiocarbon being made? I'm a nuclear physicist. How is radiocarbon being made? Oh my God. I went to jump. Oh yeah, we have uranium, it's just through decay, which is wrong. Radiocarbon is not made through normal nuclear decay that I know. You understand? Oh my God. So, and the man, okay, one of my supervisor, my supervisor, because I have 3 different supervisors. So one of them saying, oh no, that's not it. Okay, that's the carbon is made as a form of cosmic reaction. Nitrogen reacting with protons, neutrons, stuff like that on the atmosphere. It's a cosmic reaction in the atmosphere. So what? I said, okay, I'm very sorry. A lot of things on my head. I will go back next time and see how to learn more about it. I'm very sorry for that. I apologize. I admit my mistake. Don't argue. I never argue with them. I admitted my mistake. Yeah. And the second question I was asked, because my research is based on, it's going to be chemistry also. That's going to be chemistry on laser. I did only laser spectrometry. If the truth is that I think when I was in 100 level. So I don't know anything about laser spectrometry. I told the panelists, I told them, I'm afraid. That's what I said. I said, I'm afraid. I don't have idea about that, but I believe that when you people give me the opportunity to come to this, to start doing this research, I have the ability to learn. I can learn it because I only did that. This topic I was only taught when I was in 100 level.
You were honest.
Yes. I was only taught in 100 level, and I cannot remember anything about it. But I know when you give me the opportunity, I can be able to learn. And because I'm willing to learn, and with your expertise, I know you people that knows the things, you can teach me. And another one, I forgot one of the questions, but these are the things that I know, the 3 questions that I got wrong. When I say I don't know it, that's one thing you say that. Then my supervisor said that, thank you for being honest. I love your honesty.
Interesting.
That's it. That was I used the word I don't know it, but not only say I don't know, I just kept quiet, but I said, okay, I am willing to learn. I don't know how it just happened because they started speaking. You see, I'm not saying it is God, everything is God, but I can still remember vividly word to word what I said. I say I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. You understand? With your
Mhm.
expertise. Because I did this thing, I was taught this thing while I was in 100 level, but not now. I cannot even recall it. That's the truth. The man just replied me, I love your honesty. Thank you for your honesty. So we're going to teach you. And they explained something to me. That's the truth. And one of the things, the same thing, I said I'm going to learn. Then it's always good to ask question again. So they asked me, how did I know Professor Patrick? Because I have to mention his name. In my career, after, by the grace of God, when I'm done with my PhD, the man supposed to be given an accolade. I don't know, Professor Patrick was one of the big men in the where I was working. And he's there like the senior to them, you understand? Oh, I said, okay, I've applied. You see, it's always good to know how to market yourself. Whether you just know how to market yourself. I told him, okay, I've applied under him, and I said because the funding was only basically it was limited. So for the for the British National, but that is why I was not able to be awarded. So that's the essence. I said okay, but I'm qualified for it. I didn't downgrade myself. I said I'm qualified for it, but unfortunately the funding was only for the British National. So that is why he didn't give me the funding.
Wow.
You see, it was a confidence again on their part from the man, because the man is an authority in nuclear physics. Forget it, the man is an authority in nuclear physics. Professor Patrick, I love the man, you understand? He really trusted me. He entrusted me with this thing, and I will never forget him. Every time I will always remember him in my life. So you see that is how everything happens. After I was asked to send a recommendation letter, and what happened is that my supervisor my master supervisor is a very busy man. To reply email is a very difficult thing. That's the truth. Because even when he was supervising me, but yet I was not annoyed. And sorry, fault. I have to use my airport again.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, as I was saying, if you can hear me now. Okay, I say my supervisor was a very busy person, so I was trying to because it's a deadline. There's a deadline to this thing. Because sometimes it happens. The reason why sometimes I would not get invite, my reference letter were not sent by him. When they sent it was late. That's the truth. And here everything is, and I can't blame him. He's a big man. Now he handles the research I'm even having is a very big research when I did for my masters. So I decided to use my Nigerian professors and okay. But see what's happened. It's always good to work with wisdom and have people. I said I didn't tell anybody, as the Holy Spirit asked me not to tell anybody. I said not to tell anybody. So I met my brother, Ijabla Joseph. I said, okay. My present supervisors wanted me to give them the details of my master's supervisor, because definitely when I make the presentation of my own master's thesis, I talk about him, I talk what he did here. So they wanted a recommendation from him. Then we talk. So this man is a very busy man. And how can we meet up with deadline? So we went to pray. And before we even send the email, so he said, okay, this is how to coin the email. Yes, your supervisor will be willing to give, my supervisor will be willing to give the letter, recommendation on my behalf, once he's less busy, because I know he's a busy man. So I just send that letter. I never have say anything beyond that. To my what will I say? To my surprise, my supervisor, I don't know he has his phone number. That's the truth. I don't know my supervisor have his phone number. So I just then I decided to send him an email. I said, okay, sorry, I would like you to help me provide a reference letter on my behalf for this application that I've made. The man did not even reply me. That's the truth. He didn't even reply me. But because I've already said so, I said the man is a very busy man, and my present supervisor, I don't know how they are connected. Only God knows how they are connected. He called him on phone. It's only a phone call. They talk. And when I would get my own funding award, I was working. I just received an email. Oh, congratulations, we are willing to offer you. I was so happy. And I was coming back by 11 p.m. in the night, around 12 a.m., close to that 12. I was coming back from work. Then I received an email from my master supervisor. I said, okay, so-and-so send an email, called me, and I was able to give a recommendation on your behalf. Hopefully it went out well. I said, oh, before you even send me in the afternoon, then I replied and said, thank you very much. I was given the offer. So that's how it happens. Because after I got everything, then that's when I went and told my friends, the two of my friends, Timothy, and we are still praying, and Temitope, I've gotten the offer. Can you see that? And after that one also, you see, when go do another miracle, I can say, she have gotten her own offer. She's doing her own PhD now. She started her own PhD also at Oxford University. So you see, this is the story of my life and how it happens. Then rejection happens. People around me, like Egypt to Joseph, my mother, they never allow me to be discouraged. They always encourage me that I can do it. I can do it. And I can't forget there are two other people, but let me leave their name. You understand? Let me two other people that also encourage me, but I don't want to mention their name. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, this is a very great journey. I must say that this is a journey of faith. And so far, for everyone that has been listening to you, you have talked about how to maintain good relationships. Even
Yes.
because if you had because of the rejection from the Professor Patrick, if you had you end up fighting with him or something, that would have hindered the later fortune that you had. And you also talk about being prayerful, taking God, using time wisely, coming to time, making the best use of time. And I think another thing that you strike a balance on that I'm so much interested in on social media, the use of social media, especially Facebook, LinkedIn. I read a story last year, was that December or November, about a particular person who actually had funding and all that. Everything was intact, and visa was already granted. And she went online and posted, I think, Japa mode or something. So I'm running away, kind of. And these visa officers, it's as if they check our profile. Something that has been approved, flight. I think the flight ticket has already been booked, and she received another email. Sorry, blah blah blah. All those rejection. They usually frame it in such a way that you. So because of social media, I believe she did a very wrong thing there. So when you talk about social media, I saw it as a paramount thing because many people have been able to study abroad because of how they use their social media. Why some they are being rejected because of the same reason. So I don't know if you have anything to say on that.
Oh yes, everything there's advantage and disadvantage, and that's why I say that one of my quotes, you understand, people's opinion doesn't validate your dream. That's the truth. People's opinion doesn't validate your dream. But also one thing that's also another thing that I also say that whatever people say about you doesn't determine who you are, but what you say about yourself determines who you are. So social media, whatever you say about social media on social media, that is the personality, that's the perception about you. You understand? So it is always paramount. It's good. You understand that when you're saying something, you see. Let me be even realistic. Let me be realistic. Because of social media now, you see that. Let's say Nigeria now, the politics era is coming. You understand? People fight. People exchange words. You understand? They exchange words. How do you behave yourself? The Bible says you have to behave yourself wisely. You understand? How do you behave yourself? You understand? The Bible says soft answer turn away wrath. Someone like me, I have a different somebody in mind. You understand? Somebody have a different person, but you will never see me. You understand? Say something very hurtful to that person because he doesn't believe in my own opinion. Not at all. You understand?
Okay.
You see that? So, and the truth is that it's not everything that you have to just put on social media. It's not everything. It's not everything. It's not everything. So we should be able to censor what we put the picture. Some people they put their picture, naked picture. Does that make sense? Why even taking naked picture of yourself? You understand? Why taking naked picture of yourself? Some people they like to castigate organizations. So these are things that okay, yes, you can castigate organization. You give a feedback. You understand? But how do you give a feedback about the organization? These are things that you need to also look at it because if you observe, the truth is that someone like me, I hardly make comments. I hardly make comments on posts on social media because number one of where I am, because of what I'm working on. You understand? You understand?
Yeah.
I work with a lot of classified information, stuff like that. So I had, if you say I post, I just post to encourage people. That's the truth. I post. You can go to, at least you must have studied all my my post on my LinkedIn, maybe on my Facebook. You will see my posts. You understand? You can go through it. You will see. I can't just now. I can't just. You must be able to. You must have to have self-control. You must have self-control. So if organizations are giving you information, I still remember I posted the last post I posted when I graduated was about the racial abuse that I had. You understand? I had racial abuse while studying, but during the studies, I never posted that. I never posted my being abused racially. I never posted it until after I graduated. And after I graduated, how did I post it? I said, despite that, I did not hold people having bitterness. But with that again, I still have to acknowledge, because there are other people that supported me during the period. You understand? But I mentioned that because they supported me, I acknowledge them. Oh, this person I can't forget. I forget my colleague Craig. Craig was so wonderful, and Fraser. Yeah, they are Scottish people. They supported me very well. You understand? I mentioned it and acknowledge their good works. You see that? I did not realize that everybody here is this and that. No, you understand? I said I experienced it, but thank God for this and these people that helped me. You understand? These are how to, when you post, you don't criticize organization. As I said, perhaps I don't know if I'm the type that criticize organization. Where I am now might not be where I am. That's the truth, because I'm working in a very big organization. So that's one thing that is, we have to know that what we post, you understand, matters. What we post, even conversing with somebody from the world is wicked. That's the truth. The world is wicked. That's the truth. The world is wicked. Some people only want to see your downfall. You understand? The truth is that. So just make sure that you swallow a lot of things. You make sure you swallow a lot of things. Be ready to learn how to swallow a lot of things. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There is a question here from Adejuma BP.
Okay.
She asks which is easier to get, is it undergraduate scholarships or master's scholarships?
I've never had undergraduate scholarship, that's the truth. But I think I remember I have one a colleague, was it Ogechiku? She's on my Facebook. Understand? She had a scholarship at Sri Lanka. So but for me, postgraduate scholarship is the most easier, because that's what I got. Because undergraduate, if you look at it, we have age restrictions, stuff like that, how to go about it, more especially in the United Kingdom. So stuff like that. And undergraduate scholarship is not prone here in the United Kingdom. That's the truth. It is not prone undergraduate. But postgraduate is, for me, I can say categorically, is the easiest to get. And to those undergraduates, I also want to advise you is that what doing is what doing well. No matter what, just try and make sure that at least you get to one. Just try at least to get to one. I think that will help.
You mentioned a name. I think I've hosted the person before. Are you talking about Ella? Ella Ogochukwu?
Yes, yeah. Ella Ogochukwu. Yeah.
I've hosted Ella and Agnes before.
Okay,
so both of them, they got their scholarship to study in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
That was maybe 20 something, 20. I can't remember. So I think anybody that is interested in undergraduate scholarships can go to my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel of this platform is the same name. Just type it there. You will see. I hosted Ella and Agnes last year, and they discussed how they were able to do that. So, but for this dialogue, we are talking about masters and other postgraduate scholarships. So I don't know if any other person here has a question you would love to talk and you want to ask a question. Can you just signify if there's any other question here before we bring this meeting to a close? Anybody? Question?
As maybe before people ask questions, I also want to say that when you have rejection, it is painful. That's the truth. It's painful. At times I cry. That's the truth. I cry. I say, how is this possible? Why is this thing? You understand? But I don't give up. I told you 2015, I've applied. I got the rejection this last year. After I even got, was it last year or July or August? So after I got my funding for this, that's when they say, oh, they're not giving me.
Since 2015?
Yes, 2015. I can't forget that. I can mention universities that I've applied. I've applied University of Liverpool, University of Lancaster, New York, let's say Surrey, University of my Sheffield, University of did I apply Nottingham? No, I didn't apply Nottingham. I think Bristol, Imperial College, Cambridge. Some of them I even applied more than once. Some thrice I applied. That's it. And the same rejection. You see that? The same rejection, it will come. You apply 3 times to reject you. You see that? I even applied Glasgow University I graduated from. I think I applied Glasgow University about three different times. Yeah. I didn't get any of them. I didn't get any. University of Glasgow, I didn't get any because I was rejected. Yeah, because there was one that is Queen Belfast and Glasgow University going together. Oh, I want to go there. Newcastle University apply. I wanted to go there, and before I know, the opportunity did not come again. I wasn't invited for the interview. Was I discouraged? The truth is that there was a moment that I really felt discouraged. But I know that the zeal, the vision is still strong. Write it up. I can still make it. And also that's why the circle of friends around you matters. There's the two brethren, the circle of friends around you matters. So it's always good to have positive friends. Yeah, positive friends. That's the truth.
All right. So from what we have learned today, everyone, you must have seen that rejections, they are not particular to just one person. A lot of people have received rejections on their pursuit to study abroad. And the particular question here from Benedict Wankan, he said, I need more explanation on how to write a personal statement.
Okay.
Statement. And I want to add to that question. No, there are two words. There's another type that people usually use, statement of purpose. No.
Oh, yes.
Are they the same or they are different?
For me, the truth is that statement of purpose and personal statement are almost, I use it as like the same thing, but there are some technicalities which I don't know much about it. Understand? So if you ask me to the purpose of personal statement, I write it. But Benedict Wanka, yeah, is my friend also. We did the same university together, and yeah, here. Okay, but definitely how to write it is this is simple. How to write statement of purpose. In the statement of purpose, the way you write statement of purpose for masters is different from the way you write for PhD. That I forgot to say that. That was a mistake I make again. Yeah, thank you for that question. The statement of purpose I wrote for my masters, I used it. That I think it contributed to most of my rejection for my PhD. I remember Ojetunde Mercy. Maybe you know her. Ojetunde Mercy.
Yes.
Yeah, Ojetunde Mercy. When I saw her, she just laughed at it. That's not how to write it. You understand? She just laughed at it. I still remember. She's now in US. You understand? Because that was it. The circle of friends matters. There are some people that you can think you need to be able to be open to them. Because she told me, I remember she told me she had the funding even before people knows that. She told me she had the funding since, was it around when? She told me she had the funding that she start August or so. That was she's worried, but she told me that she wanted. So okay, I said maybe I want to go for this PhD because my supervisor asked me to go to US. So the US rejected me. So I just edited my statement of purpose, or let's say personal statement for my master's application to use it for PhD. So when I think I saw Mercy just laughed. Said, that's not how to write it. Mercy laughed at me. He said, no, I can remember that. I can remember that because we had a Zoom meeting. We also attended the same church, and understand, because we were in the same place together before she left. So maybe people would have seen some of my posts together with her. You understand? So she just laughed at me and said, no. But I was not discouraged. I wasn't discouraged. Even though she laughed at me, she was not having the time to teach me. That's the truth. But at least I was. It sent a signal that I did the wrong thing. So now I went back to sit down to see how to write. That's why I told him I have a brother, friend, Egyptian. I went and met him because at least he's a young man. Sometimes he can come to my house and sleep. I go to his house and sleep. You understand? So he was the one that come and put me through. And this is what I'm telling you how to write statement of purpose or personal statement. First of all, for PhD, this is it. You have a funding. Permit me. Let me open my laptop. Can you permit me to open my laptop? So that let me be able to at least I think I can be able to say something apparently very well. Okay, why is it scholarship? Just give me some time. Okay. You see, when you are writing statement of purpose for PhD, you understand, there is a funding. You have a funder. That's the name of the funding. So when introducing yourself, the first thing, this is my pattern. Everybody has his own pattern, but this is my pattern that I learned. Because even for the masters, if your master is that you introduce yourself first, what your dream, how did your dream come true? This is how you do your own introduction. Then that's your past. We call it, I divide into three: the past, the present, and the future. That's how I divide how to write personal statements. Your past, your present, and the future. For my master, this is what I did. This is how I wrote my master's on. For those of us trying to apply for masters, my past, okay, I started with my high school days, how I have a dream of becoming a nuclear physicist. At what age? At age 17. What happened? I told you the story of how I got rejection. I went for to do a cleaning job as a janitor at the American University of Nigeria, Yola. I told you here. I included it. I included my past. I was not ashamed of my past. I included it. Then, what happened? How did I get it? The inspiration was I was farming. I told you my parents are farmers. You understand? My parents are farmers. Okay, because of the inefficient, because as a scientist, okay, I'll just start to think, okay, what was the way out? What was the way out? And I was being sincere. Does physics know how to make a good instrument? No, but that was nuclear physics. Does it know? No, but because of that was just instigate me. I was sincere to myself. Then the second paragraph, what I said, the second section or second body, then I wrote about my present state, which is what I did, my undergraduate, how I did my undergraduate. Also, I had challenges there at that time. How the challenges I had, you understand? I still remember even the insurgency that happens at my time during my period. I stated every incident, you understand? Not in the bad aspect, you understand? But to tell the person that's going to give me, even though with these challenges, I was able to obtain this result. I was able to have an outstanding result. And I stated the achievement because I had an achievement while during my undergraduate. I had a University Catholic Governor Award, best student. I stated it, you understand? And also graduated as one of the outstanding students. And I said the class of degree I graduated. Then, the last aspect is the cultural background of where I am coming from, or of the where I'm going, which is the UK. I remember at that time, I remember it was Gift that told me. I don't know that. That's the truth. Go credit to him. He did the research. It's only good to ask Google. He was on that told me that. Understand? Credit the gift. So he told me, okay, these are things, and I wrote about, okay, I want to learn something, imbibe their culture. Yes, again, I want to study nuclear physics. What facilities do I know? I have to know. It was him that told me that we have the UK National Nuclear Laboratory, understand, and we have the Sheffield. So these are what I say bodies. So when you're in your field, when you're applying, just know some significant, or let's say monument that you can be able to make reference to. And the last conclusion is which is the future of what I'm going to do in my statement of purpose. Okay, this is what I want. Once I get this, I will be able to do this to achieve this. And what did I say? That I want to solve a problem. Number one, we know climate action in Nigeria, SDG. Understand? So I want to by nuclear physics, we can be able to solve. We want to have clean energy, clean climate, and by that, the power supply we have in Nigeria is low. Once I have the funding, be supported, we are going to be able to be supported. I'm going to, with my expertise, I think I can be able to push a bill work with the politicians. And sometimes people see how I'm interested in politics. Yes, it's all because of this. I said it, and everything about me was stressed, because that's why when you hear me talk about politics, because in my statement of purpose, I said that I'm going to work with politicians, more especially legislators, to be able to see that Nigeria have a legislature that allows us to have nuclear power. I said it. So sometimes people used to, Pastor, why are you talking about politics? It was a passion. And I said it, you understand? When I was given the funding to do my master's. So anything you see, I talk more especially, I talk about Nigerian government, I talk about policies making, you understand? It was because of what I said. Somebody have given me money for what I'm saying, you understand? What I did. So I have to show to the world that, okay, on my social media, because that's where they will see what I'm doing. What am I doing? And that's why sometimes if I see young politicians like me, say like me, that they're very young, oh, this is how this person, support this person because this person I know can do. Because I believe that when I have somebody of my age group or somebody, that policy, that vision that I have for Nigeria, it can be able to be what? Achieve. You understand? These are things. And I started a program, Papka International TV, maybe if you know that, if you go there, poverty barriers in Nigeria, all in the course of what? Trying to fulfill the future ambition that I have, that I wrote. That is how I wrote my statement of purpose or personal statement for my master's. Now, for PhD, let's go for PhD. Yes, this is because it has a funding, and the funding has a title. So who are funding it? So you have to. I started by my funders, and as you can see my University of Edinburgh and National Physical Laboratory were there. You understand? And the title of the project, I started because I intend to apply for this. These are the very simple sentences. You understand? Then I stated about my performance my performance level. You understand? My performance in undergraduates. I have to tell them my performance, even though they have. Don't forget that they have my CV, they have my transcripts. You understand? Some of them might not even look at it, but they will have to read your personal statement of statement of purpose. You understand? So I state my performance, state the grades, my master's performance also. I stated it. Then I sit down now, because you have to read. You can't just sit down and just write. You have to read the description of that project. So I sat down and I read the description of the project. This is all about introduction. My first paragraph. I have to read that introduction. Okay, I did courses. So some courses that I know that will give me an edge. Understand? Okay, like research skills, energy and environment, nuclear power reactor, environmental radioactivity, nuclear physics, particle physics. These are things. Okay, because if I tell you this, I have knowledge in this, at least a small experience in this. If you can be able to help me with the funding, I can be able to experience it. So these are things that I did, and I talk about my thesis. These are experience also that I had, and I started introducing myself, what I did and what I gained. Because you have to not only talking about it, what did you gain? I learned computational stuff. Due to that, it helped me. So you see that. Then that's my introduction for my PhD. Now the second aspect is I now talk about the interest that I have in the research itself, that it is advertised. Them, the universities, the supervisors, you understand? So looking like this one now, like now, this is a very tricky something. Sometimes you only have one supervisor. It's always, if you have one supervisor, it's always good to mention the name of the supervisor. You understand? It's only good. But this one, they have ones where they're not more than, there are more than one. So I didn't mention their name. I try to use a collective pronoun, let's say that, to describe them, to describe the people. So I use the facilities and also talk about my future ambition. You must talk about your future ambition. You have to talk about your future ambition, then what you want to gain again, and what you can offer. So these are the simple steps of writing a statement of purpose or personal statement. Introduce yourself. When you try to give the introduction, is that you try to introduce you have to state the funding you are applying for. You should know that what you're applying, who are the funders, you understand. What you do, what's your own performance, you understand. It's no longer the long story that from 100 level, okay, this no. Forget about those long stories. Forget about those long stories, those challenges. No, that's why you don't put those challenges again. Okay, this is then you state it in what you have done. Like if you have done your masters now, okay, I've done something in masters, okay, this is what I've done. I've gotten experience in research skills, stuff like that, all these things. Then I explain now. The next one is I explain the project itself, what I know, what am I interested in it. And that's the truth is that, yes, The truth is that is what they will use to even interview you. To know whether you're the one that write it down. You wrote what you send it to them.
Yeah.
So you must know your statement of purpose or personal statement. So you look at it. So that's how I don't know whether I'm able to answer.
Yeah, you have done a lot of justice to that, and that's powerful. And as we are rounding up, there's one more question I'm going to take for this, and the question is already on the platform. This person is I know the brother Amaya Obadiah. So he's asking, you mentioned that when you were in 300 level, that was when you started to apply and started to apply for scholarship abroad. So now he's asking that how is he going to plan? How do you suggest that he plan for scholarship maybe 1 year ahead? Let's say he's in 200 or 300 level now. How did you do it in your own time so that you can also see a template?
Oh, I told you that I made a mistake. That's we learn from our mistakes. And I think I said that if you fail, you shouldn't just base on your failure, understand? But let it be as a stepping stone to learn, understand? As I said, the first thing I started, I don't know email etiquette. So the best thing you start now is you should go and learn email etiquette. Once you learn email etiquette, you know about email etiquette, then you can be able to write any kind of grammar you want. So convincing grammar, you understand? I know a lot of people can write, you understand? So when you send an email, the supervisor can come. I still remember Gift Udo, you understand? He had a scholarship while he was in 300 level. Unfortunately, but what happens, he didn't get it at the end because of recommendation that came late. You understand? While he was in 300 level, he really had a scholarship. To tell you that, because he's somebody that is exposed, and I always say that the most intelligent person among us, he's the most intelligent person, you understand? And that's why he knows things better than me. So stuff like that, he also put me through. So there is no too late time and there's no too early. So at 300 level, don't forget you have a target. Do you want to have a 2-1 or do you want to have a first class? If you want to have a 2-1, it doesn't stop you also from learning. You have YouTube. You can watch YouTube. So that's I think. Just train yourself. YouTube. Listen to other people, how they did it, and then you start. You can just start haphazardly. That's the truth. You can start haphazardly, start applying, because now currently, which the challenge with Nigerian university is that you hardly have your transcript. I think that was another problem again in my 300 level. I don't have a transcript. Understand? So it can be, but in UK universities, you can get your transcript progressively. Yeah, that's the truth. Progressively, you can have your transcript progressively. So, but in Nigerian university, you must graduate before you have your own transcript. So, but you can start applying, looking at it, look at your mistakes, what you said. Okay, maybe if you have like your result slip, did you give? I remember when I was graduate, did you give us our result slip? So those ones you can use it as a proof, because there will be a stamp on it. That's what it's official. You understand? You can combine those together to send it as a transcript. So when somebody is interested, look at it. Oh, because there's some funding that are all year round. You understand? Oh, this person, okay, I think is capable, can do that. They can keep it for you, and they can say, okay, you can be opportune. They can keep it for you, and when you really finally graduated, you understand? Then you provide a reference, which I was told my friend Give Ogaba Udom. He has that, but fortunately the reference came late, so that's how he missed it. But yet he didn't miss it again. He's not here. He had his also masters, the same thing. He was also with me, and now he's also doing his PhD, and he's doing well. So there's no wrong timing to start. I don't know whether I'm able to answer this question very well.
Yes, I believe you have given a lot of practical steps in this particular session, and I am so happy to have you here. And I know that if we should invite you later on, you will still honor our invitation, right?
Definitely, that's no problem. That's no problem. It's
Thank
my
you very
pleasure
much
to
for
have you.
this. Thank you very much for this session, for sharing your story and giving practical steps. And on a final note, you mentioned so many wonderful things about what helped you during your rejected hours. When you are rejected, you are receiving rejections here and there. You said you had around you people of like mind. people who believe in
Yeah.
your dreams, people who
Yes.
supported you, and they prayed along with you, and you also prayed. So you are not just looking for prayer contractors all about.
Yeah.
You also
Yes.
prayed, and you were able to put in more effort. And another thing I love about what you have said is that you when you discover that you have failed, you face the failure with honesty. You discovered at a point that some of the things you have been doing were actually wrong. So it was because you did not know how to do them then that some failures came. And now you are able to teach others that, okay, don't do it this way. This thing is not right. So I think that is a very good trait. And I want to thank you for being straightforward, because it's very easy when you get abroad just to be talking. You talk to people, you people, you are suffering. Oh, don't, you know. Well, here you are given practical steps. You are talking as somebody who have been there, so that others can understand your empathy for them. So thank you so much for this wonderful session, and I this will be all for now. Thank you so much for giving back to the society. Thank you for helping Nigerians and everywhere people are connected. So thank you
It
very
is my
much.
pleasure to have me on your platform. And on the final note, before I go, I always say this. There's a statement. People, I think I remember my elder sister, Sister Zainab, said this. She said when she was in 100 level, the general coordinator then of the campus fellowship, Ebel Idiogu, says that they made a mistake, but they told people behind them the same mistake, and they said, okay, when we get there, we are going to correct it. They did not able to make the correction. They still continue, and they tell the same people, you understand, they're going to do. That is how a chain is being built. So I still remember that statement. My sister said that the same thing happened to her, you understand? But I shouldn't make that mistake. So I was conscious enough. The truth is that I was conscious enough. I said that I'm not going to make the mistake. I'm not going to make the mistake. And that is why I broke the chain, you understand? I use consciousness. Consciousness. So we might be hearing this thing that I think is easy. The truth is that it's not rosy. It is only the grace of God. That's the truth. We might be engrossed in it. I know the bitterness, the pains when you fail. You understand? I know what it means because I've been in the shoe, and I've always said that I failed. So with some of my posts, I said that I've received a lot of failure. I think I know what it means to fail. I know what it means to enjoy success. That's what I know all the two. I enjoy success in this one. I enjoy failure on this one. Understand? So I know how it feels. Understand? And I want to just plead with all the listeners. Anytime you will be listening, anybody that will be listening, anytime, please don't give up. Never give up. Never give up. Just have this mindset. If you believe in what you are doing, give your life for it. That will say that I'd rather die trying than to quit. I'd rather die trying than to quit because I believe in what I'm going to do. So never give up. But yes, on the aspect of not giving up, try as much as possible to try another method. Understand? On what you are doing. Is it the same? Or you understand? Try and change it to see how it's going to work. I said it earlier. What I was doing before was wrong. But thank God, I understand. I have a brother that helped me. When I show him what I wrote, I show Mercy. I call her name. People might know. You can go to her LinkedIn. She's also somebody. Is a very pronounced person. She's very good. You understand? She's a very good lady. She says, yes. Don't be annoyed again if people laugh at you. That's another thing again. You need to learn that. If I was annoyed that Mercy laughed at me because I did the wrong thing, perhaps I might not have gone to my brother to teach me that thing. Yes. So don't be annoyed, please. If somebody laugh at you, don't be annoyed. It's another form of correction. You understand? It's another form of correction. So thank you, and God bless us all.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. And that will be all for today. If you have any question or you want to reach out to me or to my guest, you're welcome. We are here to help, and the help we need shall surely come. So thank you everyone for connecting today. This is recorded, and very soon it will be uploaded to YouTube. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I would like to see you maybe at the YouTube channel. If you want to reach out to me, I am on my LinkedIn or my Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Pius Ijabla. That's my Twitter handle. My Facebook also Pius Ijabla, and LinkedIn Pius Ijabla. All my social media, Instagram, Pius Ijabla. Or my email, you can get me at prof.piuspapka@gmail.com. Thank you.
You're a professor already.
Oh yes, yeah. It's good to have a good email. I remember how that have that email. You don't have a nickname as an email. You understand? It's also important. Some people will have dog something. You understand? It's not a good email. I forgot to say that. It's not a good email, but we
It's
are
not
over for it.
professional.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not professional email. Yeah. So your name should
All right.
it should be on your email. Thank you. See you next time.
All right. See you next time, everyone. Bye for now, and see you
Bye.
next time.